Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. Craig Wright's lawsuit heads to trial after federal court denied motion for summary judgment. http ntvforex.com News ID 95A8D51829 GMT Kleiman v. Wright case made headlines over 2 years ago when IRA Kleiman initiated the lawsuit. Craig Wright, the self-proclaimed inventor of Bitcoin, was sued over an alleged stash of 1.1 million Bitcoin. NBSP Dave Kleiman was a computer forensics expert and was allegedly involved in the creation of Bitcoin. Craig Stephen Wright, which claims to be Satoshi Nakamoto, the actual inventor of the cryptocurrency, also claims Kleiman was involved in his creation. Although Dave passed away in 2013, a science website called Gizmodo shed some light on Davia's life. NBSP and his link to Bitcoin 2 years after his passing. NBSP in February 2018, IRA Kleiman, the brother of Dave, initiated a lawsuit in the U.S. District Court of the Southern District of Florida on behalf of the Kleiman estate against Wright. According to IRA, Craig perpetrated a scheme against Davia's estate to seize Bitcoin owned by Dave and his rights to certain intellectual property. NBSP Craig has allegedly forged a series of contracts to transfer Davia's assets to Craig's companies. The lawsuit concerns a dispute over the ownership of those Bitcoins and the intellectual property. The complaint states NBSP Craig Wright had mined a lot of Bitcoins. Craig had gotten approximately 1.1 million Bitcoins. There was a point in time when he had around 10% of all the Bitcoins out there. Mr. Kleiman would have had a similar amount. However, Mr. Kleiman passed away during that time. It also alleges that David Kleiman worked with Wright on Bitcoin, mining the digital currency and developing blockchain-related intellectual property. Dave and Craig met in an online cryptography forum back in 2003, and they continued communicating via email. More bad news for Craig Wright in the latest string of the court battle. Wright's motion for summary judgment was just denied. A summary judgment basically refers to a judgment entered by a court without a full trial. This means that Kleiman v. Wright is heading to trial. Craig Wright and his lawyers have been trying to get out of the lawsuit for over 2 years. Based on the evidence presented, Craig Wright did describe himself as Satoshi on several occasions, noting that Dave was also part of Satoshi, the nice version of Satoshi. However, these statements are not proof that Craig Wright is actually Satoshi. NBSP Wright made 6 arguments, all of which the judge ultimately says are losers. Next, the judge will get into the facts, and identify ones that are not genuinely in dispute. pic.twitter.com mxtc60oja Pally at Steph and Polly September 21, 2020. The judge has found that Wright and Kleiman did, in fact, share some Bitcoin's private keys and has rejected all 6 arguments made by Craig to go for summary judgment. The trial is now set for January 2021. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://m.me mt5.expert.advisors.